Yes. We do have three at the moment only. We are working on the last three. There will be an EP, which is called Arise. And it's the three songs are almost ready, but we are still working on them since everybody lives somewhere else. It's like we have most of the parts I'm working here, and then I send it out to the guitar player, and then he puts his idea in there, and then it's like a back and forth the whole time. Right now it is still a studio project, because it's like brand new, and but we're working on it to go on the first show in 2024, actually.
Okay, don't tell me all that now.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
There is like actually some bigger bands. I can't tell the name right now because we don't know with whom we will go and such, that are actually interested in having us as their how you say,
opener.
Yes, as their opener, right? And we will decide on that first. Like, we have a pool of musicians that we'll like take for our music that we do. Like, the band is basically me and the drummer right now, and the pool of musicians, we know already who will play the show with us, but that is also a surprise. So there, since 2024 is a little bit farther, I thought the album would have been finished by the end of last year, but there have been a couple problems with a couple musicians, COVID and their jobs. A couple of them are full-time musicians. They live off of it. They're professionals. But some of them aren't, and they have like normal jobs. And they had trouble, so everything got pulled more in the background, and it took so long. And that is why we aren't finished yet. But it will be finished, and 2024 will be the first shows. That's what I can tell you.
Okay, that's the plan. How did you get started in the music business, and what were your main influences and your background?
Well, let me say it that way. My main influence is Steven Wilson's Porcupine Tree. Absolutely. I'm totally into that. It's like when the first time I listened to Porcupine Tree, I was like 14, I think. And I was like closing my eyes, and I was like falling into a dreamland. And it's like, this is it. It touches me in every part of my body. It's like, I don't know why, but that is like, I can't explain it. It's like I've never had anything that touches me that much, And in that moment, I decided I want that too. So how it started? Yeah, well, I actually knew I always had to do with musicians. And I always been on tour with them. Like, I started with like wrapping up cables and things like that. And then it started up like being the person who switches the instruments from band to band on stage and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to do this too. I want to make music. And I've always been playing around on acoustic guitar, it's like normal chords. And it didn't matter where I was like, hey, check this out. It's like A, B, C, D, E, it's like, this is cool, isn't it? And then I started singing, and everybody was like, what's she doing there? Since most of the people were like professional musicians, but some of them I met actually were really nice, and some of them came up to me and said like, if you really want that, you have to do it. If it's your dream, just do it. Don't care about what people think or what people say. Just do it, and it will go its way. And that's actually what I did. So I lived in America for like 2 years, between Philly and New York, in the East. And I met a lot of musicians there too. And that's actually where I met Jensen, guitar. He's like a multi-instrumentalist. He plays guitars, keyboards, and bass. He basically can play everything. And he is doing like game music, you know, like Nintendo and Sega. And he told me about that, but I actually forgot what it was. But he's really into that, and he's creating the sounds by himself. So the first song we had, Sincerity, the sounds that you hear in there, he made by himself completely. Like, and he was calling them like the Anatron and all of that. So he's really he's a crazy musician. The music that he does, he's a couple of other projects are like super crazy and spacey and out of this world. I'm sorry, there's somebody here right now that wants to say hello and is annoying behind the camera. So, yeah. Sorry, he was like, I was like, what is this? And he wanted to say hello. It's like, Mama, I need to say hello. Yeah, Jensen. And from there on, I've been like together with a couple other musicians. Like I've been on stage with Tiamat once, like growling, you know, that was basically I tried everything. I've been with a couple different bands, like classic rock bands, or I had a gig with like a cover band and such. I started just like to try to sing. You know, I had a different projects, and from that point on, I was like, okay, I want to do my own music. Like I have a vision in my mind, in my head, where I'm like, I want to show people what I feel actually, and how I see things and how I hear them. And I was like, there must be a way to do that. So I started learning everything by myself. It's like, how does Cubase work? How do you record? What do you need? And like how to play what instrument, and like how to like program things and stuff. And I was like, I do that. I go into that. I just do it. And then I started to look for musicians actually that would like to create something new, something that doesn't exist, you know, like that has its own taste. And I started with a couple musicians, couple projects, but it always happened that they're like, it never got forward, you know. They were like, there was always something. Either they were too busy with something else, or they're like, they played the same over and over. Like it seemed like they didn't want to develop or something like that, you know. And it was actually a pain in the balls, I'm sorry, to make music. And I was like, what is this? What am I supposed to do now? Like, how can I reach my goal? And then I was like, okay, I go check out the internet. Let me see what I can find. And then I found this awesome guy, Chris, who was making all kinds of backing tracks and had other bands like post-rock bands and such. And he's also producer for like 10 years. And I just wrote him a message. I put a medley with songs together that I did here in my home studio, and sent it out to him. And I said, hey, look, what do you think? Like, I'd like to do kind of progressive rock, but in our own style, you know? And he's like, oh, that sounds interesting. I like your voice. Let's do it. And that is how Platypus Planet came to life, actually. And yeah, we started working on a couple of songs, and then there was live, and it took time. And I was looking for more musicians, because like a band when you go on stage, especially, you need musicians, you know, and I want to have people that want to work together and that actually have fun doing it, you know, that like grow like a family. That is actually something really hard to find musicians that you can grow a family with. It's, oh my God, you know, nowadays, especially, I don't like those type of musicians that are like, look, I can do this and I can do that, and I'm just the best in this, and you have to do this. And no, this is about communication. This is about, I don't like when people are in a band and they talk bad about each other. It's like, why would you do that? Then I stopped making music. I don't want anybody being in this band talking bad about anybody in this band. You know, I want a family. That's what I want. Let me come back to where we were. So yeah, then I remembered Jensen. And what I've seen in America, I've seen him live in like a bar. Since it was my first time in America, I was like pretty overwhelmed from all the impressions. Like, I mean, have you ever been to New York or Philly or something?
No, I've never been that side. I've been on the West Coast.
Oh, it's terrible. I'm sorry. I don't know at all. You know, it's like the impressions of America I had is like palm trees and sun and happy people everywhere.
West Coast, West Coast.
And I arrived in America and I was like, oh no, this is like dark and rainy and it's cold and it's like, where are the palm trees, you know? And then we went into this bar and then there was this band playing and I've seen Jensen. I was like, oh my God, that guy is good. Like he's really good. And yeah, we came into a talk and we became friends. And then we didn't have contact for like almost, let me say, how long was it? Like 9 years, something like that. And then I wrote him a message and I was like, hey, Jensen, it's me, Anna, and I just started this new project. And would you like to be part of this? And he's like, send me something. And he said, yeah, I'd like to work on something with you. And that's when the first song actually was born with Jensen. And then we had Tamas, the guy who's playing the solo guitar. He is also a really good musician. He's a violin player in a symphonic orchestra, and a big one here in Germany. And he is also super crazy band projects. Like one of them is called Capacia. You have to check it out. It's also proggy-like and rock-like. And he's a lot influenced by the 80s, like hair rock, you know, it's like Dokken and all of that. He loves a lot. And he's a child of the 80s, basically. And Frank, our drummer, was playing in several projects and he was jamming out, and that's where he met him actually on a jam session. And he was asking him if he wants to play a couple of gigs with him for a project. So that's how we found actually Tamas. And yeah, I sent him a message too, and I said, look, Tamas, what do you think? You know, like, do you think you could like kick in with a nice solo guitar there? And he's like, sure, I will. So that is how Tamas came into this project, you know. And Frank, drummer, our drummer, it's like he is also influenced by the 80s and classic rock, Journey, and all of that 80s super music. And he had also a couple classic rock bands. Like he was playing as a support from Fury in a Slaughterhouse back then in the 80s, actually. And help me out. The guy who made First Aid. I have a black hole right now. The guy who...
Bob Geldof.
Yes, that's where he played with back then in the days. And he's been playing in that project for like years. And since I took him, I said, like, you have to do this. You have to do this with me. It's like there's no other choice, you know? And that is when that happened. So all the musicians like Tamas and Jensen and Chris, for example, they come on and off, and there's a couple of other people that will show up in the next songs too, because I'm always looking for people that put their influence in there. You know, like I send the songs and I do not tell them what they have to do. I just tell them, look, I just want you in there. And whatever it is, it's fine. And this is how that music is happening. And that is what I love about it. That is why it makes it so unique, because everybody has its own feeling, its own style, its own sound. And I just let everybody put it in there and it stays there. And then we see, okay, how we can make it like something. And that's what I like about this a lot, you know, and there's no pressure on anybody. So you have to play this or try that, or sure, if there's something that anybody here really doesn't like, then we'll change it up. But most of the time that doesn't happen, you know. They all know what they're doing, and we all like what we're all doing, and that is how this is happening. Yeah.
But that is progressive rock in its essence. It is everyone putting in their bits and pieces.
Yeah.
That is progressive rock. It's not, here's a song that I've written, this is the melody, this is what's going to go in the background, this is your rhythm section, this is your guitar break, package it, release it. That's not, yeah, that's other type of music. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not progressive. And I mean, progressive, that's how it got its name. It was progressive because it's always progressing. But one thing I did pick up, and interesting, you said that Jensen does games and everything. Who is the person who likes Pink Floyd in the band?
Me, the drummer. I think everybody. Is there anybody that doesn't like Pink Floyd?
Because there are distinct Pink Floyd influences in your music.
Pink Floyd, Supertramp. If I hear Supertramp, I lay on the ground and cry. It's just so good. Seriously, it's just, I mean, there's so many influences there. Like the drummer, Yes. He loves Yes. You know, like who doesn't love Yes? And Tears for Fears and Pink Floyd. I grew up with Pink Floyd. My father has all the LPs from Pink Floyd, and everything I heard back then was my father playing Pink Floyd. Like I come from East Germany, you know, and we had like, you know, Trabi, and you know, when you sit in and the streets are there with the concrete and then like concrete, and then they were like cut, and then there was the next, and then cut, you know. And when you drive over that with a Trabi, it was like the whole time, you know. And my father used to put like the cassettes in there with Pink Floyd, and you were sitting in the back, and my father was like, you know, that's what I remember, is like Pink Floyd and the scenery around me, and then that nice feeling of that old car going. It's just like, just unique. And then, you know, my influence especially was what will come up next, the next release. I don't know if you've heard it, but do you know City? It's an old East German band, City, and there's a song that's called Am Fenster. And you have to check this one out. City am Fenster. Check it out. And then listen to our latest release that will come up. You will find connection right there. And once you heard it, you understand what I mean. You know, this is just it. The mixture of progressive rock and this kind of emotional, classical type of feelings in there. It's just, you know, I have ideas in my head and feelings that I want to put out there that that people need to hear. You know, it's like when you hear a band or a musician that touches you, you want kind of people to know how you feel because it's so good. It gives you such a beautiful feeling and it makes you so happy and you just want to hug the whole world and say, look, listen, everything is fine, you know? And I want to do that with my music. Sure, when you listen to the lyrics, it probably seems like it is something a little bit melancholic and depressing, but actually it is not. It is supposed to help the people out of the wrong side of the plate that they're looking at, you know? Like try to look at different sides of it or even go out, you know? A little bit of philosophic kind of view of things. Did I say that right? Oh, yeah.
How did the name Platypus Planet come?
Ah,
Unusual.
well, it just happened. I was sitting around with Chris and I was like, well, what name do we want to give this project? And as you know, like Porcupine Tree, it's like Porcupine Tree is also a crazy name. And Chris is like, I always wanted a band that's called Platypus Planet. And it was like, yeah, we take that. That's it. You know, that's it. Because it is just something I would know people would ask me about, like, how did you get to that name? It's like, what's the meaning of it? So I was like, there's none. It just sounds cool, actually. That's it. Yeah. It's like,
and I was hoping that it would be something deep and meaningful here.
I'll
No.
find something, actually. Like, I'm good at putting meanings into things.
I mean, you could put like the platypus is very rare species, and then go the whole save the planet, eco-friendly. I don't know.
Okay, so ask me the question again. Cut this one out. I can say that. It's actually not bad, though.
No.
No.
No, we'll stick with the truth. I'll say okay. This is why it's not called Platypus Planet. There's no meaning behind it. It's just Platypus Planet.
It just sounds cool, doesn't it? I mean, it's just
no, but
cool.
I mean, there is a link. I mean, like you say, with Porcupine Tree.
Yes.
You know, what is a porcupine tree?
Yeah, what is a porcupine tree? Yeah.
There's another band in Wales who also got their name from Porcupine Tree, and you might want to check them out. They're called Puzzle Tree.
Oh, okay. I'll check them out. Yeah.
I featured them last year sometime, and I said as well, you know, how did you get the name? And they just said, well, somebody just was doing a crossword puzzle, and the other one said Porcupine Tree, and they said Puzzle Tree. Oh, that's cool.
That's actually cool. This is what makes life fun, you know? Just exactly. Not everything needs to have a meaning, you know? It's just fun. I like that.
I mean, I've produced bands and had one band I was working with. They didn't have a name, and I said, well, what's your, you know, and they said, no, 30 milliliters. You know, like that's ridiculous. So I said, well, and I don't know where I got it from. I said, why don't you call yourselves Cubic Inch?
Yeah.
And they said, no, that's really cool. And then I said, and then we were thinking, oh, you know, for the drum, on the bass drum, what kind of a logo should we have? And I said, just put an orange with Cubic Inch on it. And they said, but that doesn't make sense. And I said, that's the whole idea, because people remember something that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
And then we took it one stage further, and they used to go out on stage, and I'd say, right now, I said to one of the roadies, go and buy me 2 bags of oranges. And it became a feature of their show, is they go out on stage and then they throw oranges into the crowd.
That's actually cool. Yeah, not bad though.
Because you have to do something different. You have to be different.
Yes.
You know, to stand out.
Yes.
Anyway.
Nowadays, especially, like it's pretty hard nowadays to get out there. You know, there's so many good musicians out there and so many good bands, and it's like, why don't they have views? Why don't they have listens? Like, what's going on with you guys? Like, they're super awesome with all these internet platforms and everything, and what you have, it's like basically marketing anymore, and the people that have the money come further than the people that don't. You know, this is how it works today. It's super difficult. And after everything that happened now in times with Amazon and Netflix, and the prices went up so much, try to get people out there, try to get people to go to concerts. It's like, when you want to go to a concert over here, you have to pay, like, even for bands that aren't that well known, like $50, you know. And most of the people don't have that much money that they can say, okay, I want to go there and I want to listen to them. No, they think about it and they're like, okay, that's the band I wanted to see, and I will maybe pay the money for that and go there. You know, it's been pretty difficult to get out there and find support. Lots of them are bankrupt now because of what happened too. Like, they can't make parties or shows or anything where they have like independent bands. They need to get money in too to even do something, you know. It's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you've got merchandise which you can sell online, but yeah, like you say, it's very, very crowded. I've been doing the show now for 18 months. And when the stations asked me to do a show, I said, I don't know. And I said, I'll do it, but I'm going to just play progressive rock. And I will be playing bands like Rush. I will be playing Porcupine Tree. I will be playing all these weird bands. And it's going to be progressive rock. And then after now 18 months, I've got 200 bands on my books. And a lot of them are young bands, new bands that I've found online. And I was one of those skeptics, you know, music is dead. Good music is dead. And then now I'm going, no, it's very, very much alive. And there is some absolutely great stuff out there. You've just got to find it. So now my show, it's just basically all unsigned bands. And we had a station meeting on Sunday. And I said, listen, I need like 3 hours or maybe 4 hours if I want to try and get through all the bands that I think I need to. So, it's quite sad in a way.
Yes, it is.
Because, you know, I sent out that newsletter. I've got features booked up until the end of April already.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah. And I mean, Bulldogs Radio, we're starting up a new show. It's going to launch on the 1st of Feb. And it's just going to be purely dedicated to unsigned bands and unheard of bands. And then Rebel Rock are doing the same. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I said, then the station manager said, well, I don't know why we're doing that, because Kai's doing that already on his show. So,
It's just awesome what you're doing, really.
I used to be in a band. I understand what it's like. I've
What
had to sleep in the rehearsal studio for 3 months because I didn't have anywhere else, and the only place I had to sleep was the rehearsal studio and a mattress. So, been there, done it.
I know that feeling though.
Mm.
I
And
did
then,
that too.
yeah, like you. Then I became a roadie, and then I ended up with my own music promotions company, and we used to do all the big acts that came to South Africa, and I lost a lot of money there. And then, yeah. Anyway, it's not about me. One of the things.
Interesting though.
So yes, I understand that the music industry is exceptionally difficult, and if you
Yes.
can get a break, it just takes one small break, to get things going.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can do that. That's what I'm trying to do. So, one thing I like to do, it's a bit of a surprise.
Your favorite test or mine?
Your favorite test. My favorite test for you.
Okay, awesome.
It's 10
Let's do it.
easy questions. Are you ready? Wait.
I'm ready. Let's go. The potatoes. Moon is the porcupine tree. I'd say black, but since black ain't a color, I take red. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy. My favorite song. My favorite song actually will come up. Platypus. My favorite actor is my son. And margaritas that you can only get in the US. You want to know what my favorite radio show is? That's a guy, it's called The Iceberg, and the show is called From the Iceberg. Everybody has to turn that on next time they want to try to listen to a good radio show. This is it, From the Iceberg. That's for goddamn sure.
Thank you for that plug. I will use that.
You will. You're welcome.
And then I need, we've got 3 of your songs, but I need 5. So I was thinking, since you like Porcupine Tree, if you want to give me, you don't have to do it now, you can email at me. Which is your favorite Porcupine Tree song? You don't have to do it now.
Okay.
But before Monday.
Yeah, I will send it like after we're done, actually.
Yeah,
I already know. Yeah.
You know, because then tell me.
Yeah. Well, the absolute favorite is Arriving Somewhere from Porcupine Tree. I think it's called Arriving Somewhere. And Radar 3. There's Radar 1, 2, and there's Radar 3. Raider, Radar 3.
I know that. And then
I like.
And then your most favorite Supertramp song?
Oh. I can't decide. It's Don't Leave Me Now.
Do I know that one? Is that
That's
one of the early stuff?
Yes.
What album's that on? I'll look at. I mean, my favorite Supertramp albums are Crisis, What Crisis, and Crime of the Century.
Yes, I think it's
Is it on Crisis? What Crisis?
No, I think Crime of the Century. I could check this out. It's not. Hold on. I could check it out right this second here. Hold on. I have it right here. My computer. There we go. Maybe I told you the wrong name. It's called different, but I think it's called Don't Leave Me Now. It is from, hold on. Yeah, it's called Don't Leave Me Now. What is the album called? Well, like he cuts the rope with a scissor. It is, which one is it?
Honestly, don't know.
Album. No, it said it's called Don't Leave Me Now, but it's not. Famous Last Words. It's from Famous Last Words. It's from 1982.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is. All right. So we'll play those. We'll play a Porcupine Tree and a Supertramp.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
I thank you.
And yeah, we'll edit the whole thing down and then we'll broadcast it. The other thing is what we do is we do a little promotional video for the show. And we'll most probably grab some of your video off YouTube, if that's all right.
That is all right. And also I can tell you the new video will arrive tomorrow. So as soon as it arrives, I could send it to you. And maybe you want to use some footage from there because actually I think it looks of what I took the video, I produced everything. And I think it looks a lot better than the last one too. So as soon as I get it tomorrow, I will send you some footage. Right now, I have only 40 seconds of it. But if I don't get it in time, I'll send you just the 40 seconds and you could use it.
That's fine because we only need 20 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
It's literally that.
Okay.
Because the whole thing's got to be below 30 seconds.
I will.
So it's just a short promo video.
Cool. Yeah, I will do that. I mean, I see because the color grading on those photos, 40 seconds isn't how I wanted it yet, So if he sends it to me tomorrow in time, I think he will because he has a different time zone than me and he will work through the whole night. So when I wake up, I probably have it. And I'll send it right away. Okay. So what time is it where you are now?
We're 1 hour ahead of you.
Oh, 1 hour ahead. Okay. Oh, well.
So that's fine. And then I don't know when Europe changes again, then we're on the same time.
Oh, where are you right now?
I'm in South Africa.
South Africa. See, I was wondering where you live at. South Africa. It's interesting.
Yeah.
How did you get from Germany to South Africa?
It's a long story. but the rest of the family is still in Germany.
Okay.
And there's family in Canada and yeah.
Well, next time.
But yeah, my mother and my uncles, they still stay in Germany. And our family home is in Witzenhausen. So yeah, I think in a couple of years' time, I'll be retiring there, I think.
Oh, well, the next time when you come to Germany, you definitely have to visit here. You have to come here.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, because it's not far away.
No, Witzenhausen is around the corner. Where is it exactly?
Göttingen, Kassel.
Well, it's basically around the corner. Yeah, you have to definitely let us know, and you have to come by.
I'm hoping to be there in May sometime to visit my mother.
Awesome, because we're living right at the sea. We have a boat, we have a fireplace where we can sit outside and make some music, and we have like a little studio here. We could do everything here. It's like you definitely have to stop by and have a good time. That's for sure. We have to say thank you for everything you do there. Like in the name of every musician, I do that now. Is like, thank you so much for everything you do for everybody and all the musicians out there. Really, 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 thank you so much. This is not, how do you say that? My English words I miss them. My English ain't so good, actually. Hold on, I say it in German, and then you say it in English. I have a black hole in my head now. I'm sorry. I've been up the whole day, like doing so many things, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what happened? Selbstverständlich, selbstverständlich. What?
Selbstverständlich.
What is the thing?
Unselfish.
Unself?
No. Independent. Selbstverständlich. Independent.
Independent? No, it's not the right word for that. Selbstverständlich. Es ist nicht selbstverständlich, dass du das tust.
Yeah. So it's it's not.
It's a time. It's a time.
Sagen wir nächstes Mal. Selbstverständlich. Selfish. It's not selfish. In that context, it's not selfish.
Yeah, but I thought selfish is I thought selfish is egoistisch.
That's egotistical.
No, but selfish ain't the word that I mean. It's like it's just like I can't get the word right now.
Sincere.
What?
Selbstverständlich.
Yeah.
Sincere. Don't worry about it.
You know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. And I just have so much fun doing it, and I love doing it. So it's, for me, it keeps me occupied.
That's good.
That's awesome. Why I do it.
That's awesome.
For no other reason. Yeah.
That is.
And I like to meet people around the world, because I've got so many invites. I've got places to stay all over the world now for free.
That is just super awesome.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. You have the best job on earth, though.
I don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Anna. Vielen Dank.
Ich danke.
Und schöne Grüße an alle. Yeah. And stay in touch. Send me all the stuff.
I will.
And if you want, you can pop into the Bulldogs chat room on Monday night if you haven't got anything on.
I will.
Because do that, because there's quite a lot of people in there, and then you can interact. One of the great things is a lot of bands pop in and they start connecting with each other.
Awesome.
Like the other week we had I had a band from Greece, Absinthe Green, and they were listening, and then the band in Canada, Lilith Rising, was in there. And now they said, well, they're trying to get to Europe, and the Greek band was trying to get to Canada, and they said, well, let's work together. So, that's the other thing. It's all about networking.
Yes, that is exactly what I meant in the beginning when I said, like, there's so many musicians out there that are like, no, I'm bigger than you, or I'm better than you, or no, this is not what this is about. Music is music. You know what I mean? Of course, in people's eyes, there's bad music or good music, but everybody has a different perception of music. What you might think is bad, maybe I think is good. Music shouldn't be put in a draw and like good, bad. like white, whatever you want to call it, like, no. And if everybody would connect, imagine what would happen. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always support everybody.
But
Like Lilis Rising connected with me already, like she's supporting, and I will support her.
okay.
That is actually pretty cool. And thank you, Lilis Rising, for that. I'd say here right now. And I will always support other bands too. It's like, yeah, sure. Let's all make a big concert, It's like, if we all put together, we can make it happen. And let's get all the bands on a huge stage and make a huge show. Why not? Like, do it.
Well, yeah. Irini from Absinthe Green, she's been pushing this idea and saying, why don't I come to and do a show in Luxembourg, because Bulldogs Radio is based in Luxembourg, do a show and do an Iceberg, from the Iceberg concert with all the bands that are featured.
Yeah.
And I said, great idea. Who's going to pay for it?
That is the problem, That is exactly the problem. I mean, like in Germany, there I know a lot of possibilities, where you can get the stage from and all of the equipment that you need. Basically, you could make that work. But the fees that come with it, that is the problem. That you have to pay for being able to do it. That is the problem right there. Yeah. So, well, if everybody kicks in with a little amount, if you have enough bands, maybe that could work. Or we make a fund, and we try to.
Well, you could do a Kickstarter or a Patreon.
Yeah.
Which was the way I would go.
Yes.
Is I'd start a Kickstarter fund, and then, realistically, if you get 20 bands involved and they all market the same Kickstarter fund, I think you could get it going.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that could work. And why not? What to be afraid of? You could try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you could try. And if it works, like it could be something really cool, actually. It's like write letters to the press and stuff, and like try to get the TV going. Like, why not? I mean, if it's big enough, try it. If people would, one thing I've learned, that is exactly why I make the music how I make it. Like, I've watched an interview of Steven Wilson before that song that will be released. And he was like, in that interview, I make music the way everybody else wouldn't do it, and because of that, it is what it is. Whenever you make music, just do what you're not supposed to do. It's like start with a bridge and things like that. And I was like, yeah. So I had that recording of the acoustic guitar with like, like the normal way how you would record it, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, and I'm like, no, I didn't like it from the first place. And I was like, I tried that now. So I cut everything apart and I was like, this is it. It's different. And now it's touching me, it feels like, yeah, actually that song is after I got it back from mix and mastering, I started crying like a little baby. It's the first time I listened to my own song where I started crying. It was like, so good. I never had that. I always wanted that, I wanted to cry when I make a song. Like, I want to listen to it and like, yeah, this is it. And that happened. And that's all that made me happy. Yeah, so when you do that, just do it, and why not? Maybe it opens new doors and it brings you somewhere. It's like the life is so goddamn short and it could be over any second.
Yeah, and the reason I won't do it is because I lost a lot of money.
I know, yeah, I understand that.
And the wife was not happy.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
There were a lot of fans. There were a lot of fans that were happy because I brought out AC/DC and Toto.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the financial backers pulled out 2 days before the show.
Oh God, Jesus.
Mm.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the show had to go on. And yeah,
that's such an
I've still got
business.
I've still got. I mean, there were court cases and everything, and I got some money back, but yeah, a lot of it came out of my own pocket. And then I said, "That's me. I'm out of the promotions business."
I can understand that. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's actually
that's why. If I was 40 years younger, I'd do it. But I'm old and wise now. I've paid my school fees.
Yeah, I get it. Well, let's see what else.
But maybe,
yeah,
maybe you do an online one.
Yeah,
a live stream.
But when you do a live stream,
stop now. Yeah.
When you do a live stream, the problem is the sound. Not everybody has the possibility, that is the problem that I see there. It's pretty difficult to get good sound when you do an online concert. I mean, I could make that work here, that's for sure, but not everybody has the possibility to do that, It's difficult.
Oh, it's bubbling away in my mind. And if I'm going to ask, I'm actually thought the other day, maybe I should send out a newsletter and say, who is keen in getting on board and creating this big event, and see what the response is.
Yeah.
If there's a big response, then yeah, maybe we can do a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Or a page.
That's what I mean. Just like sneak around and check out what's possible or not, and where it might go and where not, and how the response is. Yeah, you can't lose anything there.
Yeah. All right.
I could keep talking hours with you now. Okay.
Yeah, no, I could as well. I've got stuff to do and stuff to prepare.
Okay.
Yeah. So good night. Nice to meet you, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
Yeah.
Because what I want to do is, when you release your next one, then we'll have a quick chat, and then we can do a launch of the whole thing when the EP comes out.
Awesome. Yes, I'll let you know then. Awesome. Thank you for everything again, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And I will stay in touch, and I will get the show going too, though. I've been sending it to everybody, and like, you have to listen to this, and like Frank is listening to this when he goes to work and in the car, and it's always on, it's always going. So
brilliant.
Yeah, thank you for everything, and have a wonderful night.
You too, Anna. Thanks very much for everything. Okay. See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Oh God, where's this?